listening to the Sovereign Society podcast, a spiritual lifestyle sanctuary empowering you to honor the journey, trust the process, and radiate your radness. I'm your soul guide, Sabrina Riccio, Kundalini yoga teacher, spiritual mentor, and modern medicine woman who's on a mission to anchor in heaven on earth in this golden era. Join me every week where I gather some of my favorite spiritual leaders, goddesspreneurs, and changemakers for some authentic conversations about all things spirituality, wellness, what it takes to build your empire, and so much more. Over the years, after my deep Kundalini awakening and a series of events like being struck by lightning, it's been loud and clear that part of my divine purpose here is to share with you the tools and the guidance that supported me along the way. My mission here is to empower you to navigate through these changing times with ease and grace as you go forth and align to your soul's destiny while staying true and real along the way. Thank you so much for tuning into the Sovereign Society podcast, and get ready because we're about to go in deep and come out the other side stronger than ever before. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Sovereign Society podcast, authentic conversations with modern medicine women, goddesspreneurs, cosmic dudes, change makers to help you honor the journey, trust the process. I can't even talk right now, and radiate your radness. I can't even talk right now because this episode is going to be probably one of my most vulnerable episodes I've had ever, because I've been doing so much healing work, and what I've been hearing from that has been game-changing. But before we go any further, I just want to say that this episode is brought to you by my beautiful, beautiful offering I call Thrive. It is a soul activation 8-week experience empowering you to amplify your human experience and align to your soul's destiny. And we are starting the second round. Ooh, I think I'm also feeling the wave of Thrive coming because more and more women are signing up. But I'm feeling the shifts that are about to happen. And after finishing the group with my first group of women, seeing where they are now, I can feel their energy and I can feel how much they've shifted just from this 8-week experience. And this is the thing, when you do Kundalini yoga and you're doing these practices, you're not going to be the same person you were not even 2 months ago, 2 weeks ago, because I know for me, I feel different, and I've allowed a lot of the work of Thrive to really integrate into my being, because I went on this experience with these women too. And so between that and hosting my free Kundalini class I did on Sunday, Activate Your Abundance, I am just feeling so much right now. We're out of this eclipse portal, and Mercury's direct, Mars is direct. Hallelujah. So we're having these planets go back to becoming direct. And during this period, it was just so intense, so much reflection, so much about what is this teaching me? How am I showing up? How am I here to be the person I am? How am I here to activate my abundance? How am I here to live my truth, radiate my Sat Nam, be me, right? This is what so much of this deep retrograde period was about. It was about us reflecting back on what we've been doing, our habits, our behaviors. And now all these planets are becoming direct again. And it's saving grace, hallelujah. There's order again, it's coming back. And everyone I talk to, especially my friends that are doing the work and are spiritual leaders, and they're very committed to their path. Everyone has said that this summer has been one of the most challenging summers they've ever experienced. And I've been having so much of that deep reflection work. This is why I haven't really been able to sit up and share episodes of the podcast the past few weeks, because I refuse to be someone who creates half-assed content. I have to be in that space of pure inspired action. That's why I was okay, I'm doing a podcast today and I'm feeling all the feels. So thanks for being here. Thanks for your love. Thanks for your support. And thank you, before I go any further, thank you for your ratings and reviews, because when I am feeling I'm in a really challenging place, because, I'm fucking human too. If you have teachers that are telling you good vibes only or no bad days, that's not real. Be careful on who you're surrounding yourself with. So instead of allowing myself to be real and allowing myself to experience all of these journeys and all of these opportunities and feelings and emotions that I get to experience as a human, feeling into all of that and knowing that It's all there to support me. It's all there to help me. It's all there to help me grow the grit, to get strength, to grow, to hold that compassion, to see from the hawk perspective, and to recognize when other people are acting out that it's their inner child, all those things, right? I digress, but I'm just like flowing right now. So work with me. I just surrendered it all for this episode. And I was like, all right, God, use me. I'm here. But anyways, when I'm going through those periods of like feeling like shit and feeling like, whoa, I really need to be more inclusive and like be more introverted and the hermit, I do that and I honor that. And I'm very aware of where my energy goes. I'm very aware of who I surround myself with. And I've been having a lot of really intense experiences, but what really helped me get there before I go there, and I just want to share some words that you guys shared through the ratings and reviews on iTunes. It really empowered me to keep going and inspired me and just like filled my heart. Because as my mentor said, she is not free, and me being able to come out here and sharing with you guys the most vulnerable self of myself, and to also share with you the wisdom and the knowledge and everything. Your ratings and reviews really help give me that chi to keep going. It really helps me to connect with the people that are at higher vibrations, because you have to become that vibrational match. That's the number one success key term right there. You have to become the vibrational match of what it is you're calling in. And so for me to continue to bring really powerful teachers onto the podcast, I need to make sure my energy is up. I need to make sure that my energy is strong and that it can be an equal representation of our energies to share with one another to create this container for you guys. So here's a beautiful rating and review that dear Blair said. She said, Sabrina offers me the courage to go into the shadows of my pain bodies, to heal those spaces of myself and build a healthy relationship with them. I am learning that our shadows are not something to be removed, done away with. Rather, it is the journey of healing those spaces so that I may fully receive the beautiful lessons they are here to provide me. Making true peace with myself so that I may then accept myself fully as the vulnerable being of love and light that I am. Sabrina's vulnerability, authenticity, beautiful humor, and profound insights have allowed me to open up to my highest and most sacred self as a true goddess of the leaders, the travelers to the higher vibrations of our existence. Sabrina is a powerful and stunning spirit. My deep gratitude goes out to her for sharing so many parts of herself with the world. You are living your truth and walking the most magical path, and my soul honors your soul. Oh, God, melting, right? That was so kind. You guys, your words, like, really, they move me. And so if you leave these ratings and reviews, again, this helps really bring in that love energy to bring in more powerful teachers here to support you, because I know how much you guys love this podcast. So thank you again, Blair, for your kind words. And I'm just beyond thrilled. All right, so let's get to business. I want to talk about this week's episode, honoring your inner child to activate your abundance. And I'm having a lot of flashbacks right now because Thursday marks the 6-year anniversary of me being struck by lightning with my little dog Bud. And so I've been feeling a lot of feels this summer of everything that brought me to that moment. And, you know, at that time I was like 23, just turned 23 in that summer, 2012. The doozy of a summer, right? Everyone I talk to, like I said, that's been going through this journey and has this past week or past month or so, have all said they're having gnarly flashbacks of that 2012. And it's so true. And I know that's definitely where I've been as well. And, you know, right now I'm not at Burning Man. I decided to stay home. And so I'm feeling a lot of what that Burning Man offers me too. And while I was like really looking forward to taking a week off social media, I'm here. Like, I'm literally on all the platforms right now recording this podcast because God had a bigger plan for me. So I just continue just to trust that and to just know that where I'm going is perfect. So since the eclipse portal, you know, I was really burnt out, and I was editing, filming, creating worksheets, emails, holding space for the women. The first round of Thrive, I did it with them. I was going through the process with them. So I needed to use whatever tools that I knew I needed to have to also support me through that journey. And again, this portal is, we're opening up again on 9918, which is a 999, which I know this next group, you're going to be getting some serious medicine. I already feel it. So I'm really excited. But, so since this eclipse portal, I was in Mexico, and those were the last two episodes that I did. It was in Mexico. I did one for the lunar eclipse, and then I did one for the Lionsgate portal. And during that time, I literally had a meltdown. I broke down. I lost it. Like, literally, I'm driving in a minivan with my whole family, my mentor, her husband, and my dad's sous chef, like, fucking losing my mind. And I've had to have these breakdowns, these breakthroughs, because it's allowed me to go back into my memory and my childhood of where pain and trauma first came from. And so there was a few that came up for me recently, one especially yesterday. And I feel like it came up just because I've been working on more prosperity kriyas with Kundalini yoga. So Kundalini yoga is the yoga of awareness, and it's this technology that's helping us through this time and space. And I've been a teacher of it for 4 years. I've taught at festivals, teaching this powerful practice, and I've been doing more prosperity kriyas ever since Sunday. Before Sunday, but for the past week. But Sunday I had my Activate Your Abundance, and we were talking about these prosperity kriyas and things like that too. And so yesterday I went on a road trip with my family back to Orange County. So Orange County is like in between Joshua Tree in LA. I went to school in Orange County. I lived in Orange County, and I haven't really been back in Orange County since a couple times. After school I had friends, but like it was just in passing, and this was in passing too, but this was different. And so I was driving by my old apartment, and I was driving by like my old school and the streets, and just it was a trip, right? I haven't been there. I haven't been in Orange since I was depressed, like really depressed. And because I've been doing so much work, and I feel like something shifted with those eclipses, and this past summer was really challenging. All these retrogrades, it was hard, and if you're feeling me, let me know. Like, it was tough, and it's made us all stronger. We all got our ass kicked, but we're also feeling really inspired right now. We're feeling like it's time to take action. We're feeling like no more bullshitting. And with that feeling, it's been like no more bullshitting means, okay, now it's time to face the shit that's blocking you. What are the things that are stopping you and blocking you from actualizing the life you want? And for me, I grew up depressed for well over 25 years. And it wasn't until probably last week, it really feels like I broke out of the curse, truly. And that feels massive to me, because that's all I've known since I was the age of 3 was depression and sadness and feeling of defeat, like all of that junk, a lot of health issues. And I'm just like, wow, this is life. But as I've been allowing myself to dive in to do the work, to go back to my ancestral lineage, to be able to recognize that and to see the patterns, right? And saying like, okay, this no longer serves. And this is the thing about abundance that I want to talk about, because so much of my course is about, Thrive is about healing your ancestral lineage, and it's about healing the lower triangle, what we call in Kundalini yoga, which are the lower 3 chakras that we've grown to know. The chakra systems are also upgrading a lot right now as you continue to elevate to higher states of consciousness. That's a whole other discussion. But essentially, this lower triangle represents the bottom 3 chakras, and usually around that time you start to develop your heart around the age of 22. So if you think about it, it's like from when you were born to like when you graduate college kind of time that your whole lower triangle is being developed. That's where you understand your scarcity or abundance mindset, safety, courage, creativity, sensuality, sexuality. So when you're starting to like figure out who you are, And then as you go through, I feel like up until like 22, I mean, I'm still in the middle of my Saturn return, but me being in this space where I'm also like going through this whole cycle of reevaluating everything, because everyone has their own levels of healing in their own journey. But I know for me, through my own experience, from 22 to 29 has been the most challenging years of my life, for sure. In different ways, though, because everything up and before that, I was just depressed, going through so much death, like trying to fit in, um, trying to like numb my depression because I didn't want that to hinder me. I was making a ton of money. And then when I reached 22 to about like, yeah, 22 to 29 has been a struggle with money, but I feel like I've broken that cycle and that curse because I've had to see like how my relationship with money was formed since my childhood, right? Like my early childhood. And, it was always challenging, growing up Italian and hearing like, oh, your family's part of the mob or you're part of the mafia, all this bullshit, right? Like every race has, these stupid bullshit stereotypes that aren't even real that small minds came up with and to just keep people in a box. And so there was a lot of that kind of like fear and trauma, especially after I was struck by lightning of like, oh my God, what is real? What is true? And I was like, you know what? I had to see everything. I've had to unlayer and unpeel every belief I was taught, every limitation I was told was true, every idea of who I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to look like or what my business is supposed to look like, seeing all of that plus healing like the lack of self-love that I had for myself for so long because, I've like essentially like lived my life as a monk. I heard that from Matt Kahn and he was talking this beautiful story about how it's in his newest episode. I'm not going to go there, but essentially like he just like he chose to like just be committed to himself and be committed to his healing path so that he can get to where he is now. And that's exactly what I've been doing since my childhood. Like I said, I've just felt super numb. I felt unloved, unworthy. Like I had to fit in. And what I realized yesterday driving around near my old school, my old apartments as I was developing the end of my solar plexus into my heart, I was seeing how I wanted to be approved of. Like I wanted to be liked or seen, accepted by groups of people because I thought that me spending my hard-earned money on them, not giving from a space of love, but giving from a space of like lack and scarcity of like, if I don't shower them with gifts or whatever, then I'm never going to be approved because I need to show that like I'm of status. It's bullshit, but that's what happens. And I did that a long time. I did that like in my early college years too. I did it in my high school years where I would be the one, mostly probably after my college years, after I was at the wrong school. It just wasn't the right school for me. And, but I still have so many friends from that, but I needed to be in a different place. But my college years were really challenging because I had, like, by the time I graduated high school, I had like my best friend committed suicide. 2 weeks after that, my grandpa died. And then like I graduated high school like a month after that. And so I was just numb going into college and I was having a really hard time to fit in because I was at a really big school. I was at San Diego State and it was too big for me. I really needed a lot of help, mental help. Like I needed to go to therapy by that point. Because I was super numb. And so while therapy was great, it didn't allow me to get to the same depth that I'm able to get now. That was a good stepping stone for me. But as doing Kundalini yoga and sharing my medicine and sharing my gifts, I'm allowing my inner child to be seen because as I shared in an email, we are all children of God, right? We are all children of the universe and we are here to have to play and have fun. And to have that play and to have that fun, you have to allow your inner child to be seen, to be heard, and to be loved. So we need to go back into these periods of time, from when we were born to our collegiate ages, and see where there can be love, more specifically in the early years of life, because your subconscious is formed by the age of 7. And how were you received? Did you receive the love that you needed when you were a kid? And if not, we go back and to heal those moments and to listen. But essentially, I just wanted to share that you need to be able to be honest and truthful about the stories of your inner child. There's no shame of what you felt. There's no shame of what you've experienced. There's no shame about how this journey has unfolded for you. Because what you've experienced, what you've gone through, it has made you stronger. It's given you the strength, the courage, and it deepens your sense of compassion, plain and simple. And like I said, me sharing, that like I would be spending money and not honoring my money, or having that lack of self-love, that thinking everything was outside of me, that I would spend on stupid shit for people that were kind of just either using me for money, or I allowed it because I had such a low sense of self-esteem and self-love. And this is a lot of what I've had to work through these past years, but especially coming up to this, like I said, this anniversary of being struck by lightning. It's just been a lot. So essentially, you have to understand that you need to be able to allow yourself to do the things that bring you more joy. It's okay. You're more than you can do that. You can have more joy. You can, allow yourself to just be in the space of abundance, of prosperity. You're worthy of it. To get there, you have to be doing the work, though. To get there, you have to address those really dark, scary places that you've kind of ignored. To get there, you have to make peace with your past. To get there, you have to forgive, and we have to really be aware of what we're doing with our time, what we're doing with our energy, and how we can love ourselves and take the time for more self-care. Because if you want to beat the current medical system, it's like start spending more time taking care of yourself. Start nourishing yourself in ways of self-love, where you're doing digital detoxes, you're unplugging your Wi-Fi. When you go to bed, you are taking some time with nature, you're taking some time with loved ones, you're creating, you're just being, you're meditating. These are the things, you're eating healthy. These are the things that as you start doing this stuff, this is the nourishment of your inner child. These are the things that kids needed too. They needed these things to grow. We needed kids to be able to eat healthy food. And, for us, unfortunately, a lot of our generation, we grew up on Happy Meals. And there's a lot of us that are working through this healing path right now of shifting our food and becoming more aware of our meditation, becoming more aware of what we're eating, what we're consuming. We are here to eat abundant, healthy food that is of abundant nutrients. And it takes us realizing that we are worth it. It takes us loving those parts of us that need that love. It takes us honoring our inner child. So I just want you to really understand that you need to take time for yourself. You need to play like your child would. You need to listen to your inner child when it comes up. Don't run away from it. Don't numb to it. Allow yourself to get through it. We have to allow ourselves to be open and share our experiences, to be vulnerable, to speak our truths. We need to allow ourselves to recognize and honor our boundaries, and to say no thank you, and to be in that space of inspired action, and surround ourselves with people who see us, people who love us. That's something that I've seen now. So I lost all my money, right? I bought a house and I fixed up the house, and I'm a human. I like buying things sometimes for myself too. And I lost it all. And it wasn't until I had to be shown that I had to lose all of my money and still find the people who love me, people who see me, people who recognize me, people who want the best for me, people where there's an equal level of respect. There's an equal level of love. There's an equal level of truth. There's an equal level of support. And these are the people that you also need, like become aware of who you hung out with when you were younger. And what was your intention? Was your intention to hang out with them to feel cool? Was your intention to hang out with them to feel like you were part of something? Did you compromise what you believed in just to be part of this cool crew? Like, these are the things that we need to do. I say a lot for millennials. I feel like we've been like conditioned from birth. Like, we've been programmed by birth because we're the first generation that really had TV, right? Like, since birth. And so we have a lot of the mass media and trying to tell us, and propaganda and all these things. Our food systems, we were like guinea pigs, 9/11 was during our pubescent years. We've had this trauma since early childhood that we've experienced, and this is why we're doing so much of the work. This is why more millennials are becoming more spiritual leaders and are more interested in yoga. It's because we're healing our ancestors and we're healing our lineage. As I said earlier, our grandparents essentially were part of the Great Depression. That's not a far reach. Our grandparents were in the Holocaust. This was not a far reach in how far we are. We have the power to say no more. The future generations will not be like this by going back in time and giving our younger grandmothers that love, going back in time, giving ourselves that love, making peace with the past, and in a way of being like, so this happened. How do I choose to be strong? How do I choose to be courageous from it? And when you allow yourself to reclaim your power, that is your abundance as well. It's you tuning in and you tapping into that energy that is always around you, the energy that is always available. It's just about you becoming a vibrational match. So you becoming the vibrational match is about you allowing yourself to go there, allowing yourself to face whatever arises that has been blocking you, and it may not even be yours. And just peace, love. Send that peace, send that forgiveness, send that understanding. And so whatever we've experienced, in our human experience, we're here because we're able to share our wisdom. We're able to share what helped us get through it. We're able to give that compassion. We're able to relate, to say, I see you. Because everyone's on a different part of their healing journey, and the healing journey doesn't go up and down. It goes in spirals. So sometimes things circle back around to see where you're at. That's where I'm at this summer. I've had to circle back around and see where my life was when I was struck by lightning, and I was a fucking mess. Like, I was eating too much ecstasy. I had severe depression. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was numb. I was hanging around people who were abusing me, who were toxic. I had people that wanted to come in my life and share their love with me, but I pushed it away because I just wasn't able to receive it. Like, I didn't know what self-love was. I didn't know what boundaries were. I was a fucking mess. But I've had to go through that journey, had to go through that experience so that I can be here sharing with you my most vulnerable self, sharing with you the wisdom I've learned along the ways. The reviews that you share with me is because I've been able to go through what I've experienced. It's not about life is happening to me anymore. It's about it's happening for me. It's happening for my highest evolvement. It's happening for me to learn. It's happening for me to grow. So essentially, if you're going through the shit, you should know that you're not alone. You're not alone, you're not alone, and you're not alone. And so we need to go back. Again, go back. Start to remember, go into those, create a safe space for you where you can go into that memory, have a meditation before, and invite your younger self in, light some white candles, allow yourself to set some incense, burn some sage, some copal, some palo santo. A lot of people are really purging out a lot of the stuff right now. Wear white. When you wear white, you don't absorb everyone else's energy. When you wear black and dark colors, you're absorbing all the energy. You need to be able to wear white to radiate your truth and radiate your light and who you are. So if you allow yourself to honor what arises, shower it with your love and your support, you're able to create that space for more abundance. Plain and simple. That self-love, plain and simple. So we need to just keep going through it. And the more you allow yourself to heal your inner child, the more you create a solid foundation to build the business and life you want. You go forth and you create this business and life you want because you're on solid ground. There aren't any cracks. There's your full love. Like whatever you're creating in the world needs to be created with your pure, full heart. It's not for a manipulation. It's from your full heart. When you allow yourself to radiate your full love, your whole heart, you are able to move mountains. This is why I say, like, the new chakra system, everything is about the heart. Like, your heart is what keeps you alive. Your heart is what allows the blood to purify you. It's your heart. So allow yourself to love yourself to the fullest capacity, to the best. It's a work in progress, always. We're always having more and more things. But when you reach the point where you see how much you love yourself and you really honor yourself and you believe that you are worthy of having what it is you want, the fears are just a thing. They can come, but they don't stay for long. And so you need to allow yourself to go there. You need to allow yourself to be in that space. And so, as I mentioned, just being in this space where you fill up your cup first, and through that, you allow the overflows to be shared, right? This is why I haven't been able to be on the podcast for a couple of weeks, because my cup was not full. And as of now, I do all of my own things. I'm editing, I'm creating, I'm holding space for my dream editor of my podcast to come through, holding that space. But in the meantime, I'm doing it all, and I have to be able to honor my boundaries because it's life. So self-care, self-love, super critical. And this is the thing. As you do this work, you become more increasingly sensitive, and you can spot bullshit from a mile away. You can recognize other people's pain and projections. And it's all because you've been there, right? You can recognize when people are out of alignment with their highest self. And whenever they come your way and they're at this lower vibration, it's not about you meeting them down there. It's about you helping them come up here, right? You're not going to lower your energy or your frequency or vibration to be with them. You're going to empower them to come up and to meet you where you are, plain and simple. So you have to allow yourself to recognize that you committing to this path of spirituality and becoming your highest self, you will be reaching the space of homeostasis again, where you're back into your natural sense of self. And that is who you were before the programming of your childhood and your lineage and the pop culture. It's about what you really want. And having this deeper sense of respect means stronger boundaries. It means allowing yourself to say no thank you. It means honoring your space. We just have to keep honoring our space more and more again. And so as you make this peace with your past, everything up until this breath, you begin to have your inner child support you in actualizing your desires and your prosperity, because it's, again, more than just your money, right? It's about your health, your thriving relationships, the career of your dreams, and what it means to actualize those desires. That's what's happening. And so this is what my whole purpose is about, is just really helping people to come back into who they are, to honor where they've been, and to make peace with it, and just like shower younger you with the love, because everyone's doing their best based on their level of awareness. That quote by Deepak Chopra, is one of my life's quotes. I found that like right after I had a really challenging psychedelic experience when I first began my spiritual path, is that everyone is doing their best based on their level of awareness. And sometimes we aren't aware of what we're doing. Sometimes we're just trying to put ourselves out there, but for the wrong reasons. And it's just about you coming home to you every time. It's about you loving you every time. It's about you recognizing like you are not your story. It is part of what has made you to the person you are today, how you've become who you are today through what you've experienced. And so you can change. You can make the shift. It's just about you being devoted to your well-being and to be committed to becoming your highest self, and to just respect yourself, respect your money. Money is an energy. I lost all of mine because I wasn't working, and I wasn't working. I was building a business, and I was traveling to see spiritual healers and teachers and stuff to get to this space of where I am today. So I took a leap of faith. I'm not saying spend all your money. Don't do that. I was stupid. That's just my path. So don't do that. And it wasn't fun. You know, it's not a fun thing to feel like you don't have money when you know you're worthy of being abundant. It's a really shitty feeling. I've been there, and I've had to not be able to do a lot of things because I didn't have money, but it's okay. It's given me the grit, and like I said, I found people who love me even when I didn't have money, you know, and that was a lot for me because that's what I believed. Like, people who have money are the ones that are loved, and that's not always true. Thailand really saved my life with that one. But yeah, so I would be really interested to hear how you are going forth and honoring your inner child to really activate your abundance, you know, and to really share your love and share your compassion and see that people are going through it right now. There's a lot of people that are experiencing a lot of challenges right now, and you just have to continue to love them. You have to continue to support them. Even from a distance, just blast them with love and help them, but with your love, sharing your love in that way. You know, that little blessing helps bring their energy back up, and it helps elevate them to higher dimensions and higher states of being, which is what we are all worthy of experiencing. So I really didn't know where this episode was going to take me. I just knew that it was about me sharing that, you know, sometimes we go back to those moments and those memories of our inner child and when we were down and sad, because let's face it, you're not even who you were 2 minutes ago. Like, we're constantly changing and evolving. I just see, for me, I've been having such rapid healing and rapid expansion and rapid growth right now that a lot of people kind of can't keep up. And then I'm also calling in and aligning to people who are like pretty strong and vibrate in a space where I can see the similarities, and I can see us like working together to continue to raise up, because we don't have to do this alone. So I just want to say thank you for listening again. This is a lot of what I do and thrive, my 8-week course, and there are still spots available, and we are starting September 9th, 2018, 9918. It's a 999 portal, and I'm a 9, so it's it's going to be quite the journey. So there's a few spots available, and this is just all about balancing your lower triangle again and activating and manifesting your desires and the life that you've wanted, and working with modern mystical tools and Kundalini yoga to get there. So we're just, again, we're healing our lineage right now, and we're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. We came here on a purpose. Let's just say that. Like, there's a reason why we're here right now. We came here on a purpose to really help bring more peace and more love, and to connect to one another and help each other heal. So If you're interested in Thrive, you can check out thrive.sabrinariccio, Sabrinariccio.com, and you can apply. I have a few spots available until we start on the 9/9. You can also leave your ratings and reviews on iTunes. And if you send me a screenshot, you can go to my Instagram, and there's a button there in my bio with my email. Just send a screenshot through there of your review before you push submit, and I'll be able to enter you into a drawing to win a free soul activation session with me, which is a free group coaching call. It's a 45-minute call valued at $222, and we're going to be able to, whatever's arising, I pick one a month for a while. I don't know until when it's going to stop, but right now I'm just being inspired to share with you and to hold space for you, for anyone who leaves your love and support for the podcast. And thank you. We've reached top 75 on spirituality on iTunes. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you guys so much. And make sure you're following me on Instagram at Sabrina Riccio. Again, SabrinARiccio. I would love to hear how this episode empowered you to keep diving into your inner child and going to those spaces, going to those memories to create the solid foundation to make peace with your past and to activate your abundance. I love you all so much. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be seeing you soon. Take care. Satnam.